Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. I am back today to share another recipe with you guys. Well, it's March, so happy March everybody, and March to me means that spring is on its way. So today I'm going to share with you an easy recipe for a rustic fruit tart. Now, I call it a rustic fruit tart. Some people like to call it a fruit galette, which is a really pretty and fancy name, although I like to use the word rustic because it means it doesn't have to be perfect. And if the shape is a little wonky, well, it's rustic, so it's charming. And it's really, really easy. You guys are gonna love it, so I'm gonna show you how I make it. Okay, so to make the tart, here's what you need. You're going to need 1 sheet of thawed puff pastry. I always buy these Pepperidge Farm ones. They come in the freezer section of the grocery store, and they come in a box with 2. You just need 1. So just make sure you have 1 thawed sheet of puff pastry. You're going to need 3 cups of frozen mixed fruit, any mixed fruit you want. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 3/4 tablespoon of cinnamon. The first step to making the tart is to roll out the puff pastry dough. It's really important that the puff pastry stays cold, so after it's thawed, make sure it's thawed, but take it right from the fridge and we're gonna roll it out. Now, I suggest rolling it out right on a piece of parchment paper. That way we can just slide it right onto the baking sheet and we won't have to lift it. Because the dough is so thin, if you try to lift it, it will rip. And so if we do it right on the parchment paper, it eliminates all aggravating issues. As thin as I could get it. It's probably about 14-ish inches, but it's not an exact science, so don't worry about the exact size or even the exact shape, because remember, it's rustic, which we love. Don't even worry about it coming off the edges a little bit, because once we put the fruit in, we're gonna end up pulling all the edges in and making a circle. So it really doesn't matter what shape it's in. You just wanna make sure there's a big enough center to hold the fruit. So now, since it's on the parchment paper, we can just take a baking sheet. You can use a cookie sheet, or I have a round pizza pan here, and then you just slide it right on there. And now we don't even have to lift it, which is great. So while we make the filling, we're going to take this and we're going to put it right in the fridge because it should stay cold. So while we do the fruit, we can just refrigerate this. Like this. For the fruit filling, you're going to put 3 cups of frozen fruit in a bowl. The one that I bought on Friday, this one, it looks like it's really heavy on peaches. There's strawberries in here, grapes, cherries, and pineapple, which I think is going to be really, really good. I've made it before with frozen blueberries, which is really good, and strawberries. So you could really use any fruit that you want. So we get 3 cups of frozen fruit. To that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and the flour, white sugar, cinnamon, and butter. And throw all that in, and then toss that all up. Once your fruit is evenly coated with the sugar mixture, you're going to get the dough back out of the fridge. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dump this bowl of fruit right into the middle of our puff pastry. So now the fun part. We're going to take the edges of the pastry dough and pull them forward. So we're going to pull all the edges forward till you're left with about a 5 to 6 inch opening in the middle. So we're going to start with one corner and just start pulling it through like this. And when you're done, it's going to look like this. So our last step is to take a pastry brush and a little bit of water and just kind of seal up your edges a little bit. Just go over it with a little bit of water. It just kind of seals up the dough. We are going to bake this in a preheated 400-degree oven for 40 minutes. Really hope you guys like that recipe, guys. It's so good, and the best part is because it's fruit, you can have it for breakfast. This tart would be perfect for a brunch, but it's also awesome for dessert too, so you get the best of both worlds. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. Let me know if you do. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will be back next week with another recipe. It's March, which means it's the month of St. Patrick's Day, and I have something special that I'm going to share with you next week. So have a great week, everybody. Bye!